and this is the Grassroots Education and Entertainment Network, your number one source of information, education, and entertainment. For honest, responsible, and dependable information, we stand supreme. To stay focused, inspired, and relaxed, choose green. Okay, I would like to introduce the host for today's show, Coach Eonti, and I would allow her to introduce the guest shortly, but I would like to open by reading today's essay from Oturapon Oshe, and it reads, Oturapon was cast for the little tree on the day that the little tree gave birth to a new baby. They said that mother and child would both be poor. If they did not wish to suffer poverty, they should sacrifice, and the required Ebola is listed. The tree is called the pepper tree. The sacrifice was not made, and the fruits of the pepper tree were taken from her. All right, that is the essay Ifa for today. I'm not even going to attempt to do any interpretation, but I would like to turn over to the host for today's show and allow her to introduce the special guest that she has on today.
Alafia, pleasant good afternoon to one and all. I am Coach Yanti, streaming from the island of St. Martin, and it is a pleasure to be back on this Herbal Talk every Sunday afternoon. So this season, we are talking about the importance of eating well to have a good health, to promote longevity, vitality, and especially proper alignment with our mental health. So this afternoon, it is my privilege to introduce Chief Priest Awolo Ifatuki from Oyo in Nigeria, and he's going to tell us a little more about the importance of respecting your body, eating the right food, having the best nutrition in order to have proper spiritual alignment.
Good evening, everybody
Welcome.
that's watching me all over the world. I'm a priest Awolo Ifatoki from Oyola, Nigeria, an Ifa priest. I'm so glad to be in this platform. I'm here to share some experiences about how our health is being useful to us and to ancestors. Likewise, first of all, before anything, we are paying homage to our ancestors, and then we pay homage to Olodumare, Oba 10 Legleges for Ijagbeji about your pay homage to our Egungun. So, I'm here to develop a point that is how our health is working for our body system and then for our life to have a healthy life. There are many herbs our forefathers learned or discovered, but I would just like to brief some of the useful herbs they've been using, and then we met them using from our childhood. And then I'm very sure my colleagues in the house might have already, heard about some. But I believe no knowledge is a waste. And then, from my own perspective, I will talk about ewuro, that is bitter leaf. Though we have varieties of herbs that is working for our lifestyle, for a healthy life. And then I would like to mention some useful things that our fathers or forefathers they can't do without. Out of them, it's water. Water is very important. H2O, water. And because the reason why they actually made use of all this was they discovered them through their ancestors' way, and they believe water is so essential in our life. And because psychologically we believe water is part of physiological needs, right? So it is very important. Even if at all you want to make use of any medicine, or you want to prepare any herbs, definitely we must make use of water. So out of the natural materials, I will mention to that enhances our health, good health. Water is very essential. Likewise, palm oil. Because when we take a look at water, like I said, there's nothing we want to prepare without making use of water. And then palm oil too, there are a lot of herbal usefulness of palm oil too. And then when we are talking about herbal medicines, it might requires us to mix one or two things together, like we all know. Though each herbs, leaves, or roots, they have their own benefits. But as well, when we add them with some other natural materials, definitely they will give us a good result. So I made mention of water. Another materials I will make mention for to acquire to have a good life, good health, is shea butter. We call it in our dialect ori. They have a lot of usefulness, and then the reason why I'm mentioning these materials aside the leaves and the herbs is because we might mix them with one or two leaves to generate the desired results. So that is why I made mention of those things, because anything we do, we believe we follow the path of our ancestors. We are not the one that discovered these medicines or herbs or leaves or roots. It is being discovered from our great forefathers, and then they transfer the knowledge to the next generation. So now I can say it is generation to generation, when we're talking about medicines. So having mentioned ori, epo pupa, omi, water, shea butter, and then palm oil, I will go straight to herb. I believe it's very essential in our life, and I will choose first of all ewe ewuro, that is the bitter leaf. Bitter leaf, scientific name for bitter leaf, they call it Talinum fruticosum. Bitter leaf is very essential in our life, because out of all these herbs that have been discovered from our ancestors, I can tell everyone that bitter leaf is most important. It's part of the herbs they discovered that are very useful to our life, to our healthy life. So ewe ewuro, we can cook it, we can drink it, we can as well mix it with all these available materials or natural resources. I mean, natural materials I mentioned, like palm oil and then shea butter. But another one of the usefulness we learned from our forefathers is, when let's say a child or a baby have a kind of measles, the kind of dangerous sorry for the loss of connection. Hope everybody,
We are
are you
hearing
there?
you. We
We
are
can
hearing
hear
you
you.
very well, Baba. Go ahead.
Oh, good. So I was talking about the usefulness of ewuro, bitter leaf, and then I said that if a baby has a measles, we learned from our forefathers that they are supposed to be making use of bitter leaf for baby's health. That is, when they notice the kind of hot temperature, which is the same part of the symptoms of measles, a baby that has measles, they will mix they will ground the ewuro, the bitter leaf. Sometimes they get a gin, an alcohol, little alcohol. They will squeeze the bitter leaf with the alcohol, and then they put just little palm oil on it. They now squeeze it very well and mix it up. So they will now apply it on the baby that has the measles. As well, while applying it, they will take a spoon out of this medicine. They will take a spoon. They will feed the baby to drink a spoon. The reason why they actually do this is that they believe anything we are treating herbally or medicinally in our herbal medicine, any treatment we want to do, we believe it is either internal or external. That is, something might have already disturbing from within, from your stomach, before it could be able to react outside your body. So they believe the one that they give to baby to drink will kill all those bacteria.
Baba, if I could interrupt, I just want to ask one question. What was the Latin name you gave for the herb that you referred to as bitter leaf? Because I heard you mention it by another name a little earlier. As
Oh,
ba-
are you there? We lost the connection.
yeah, you were
Uh-huh.
frozen for a little while. The
Yeah, we
question
can
I
hear
was,
you now.
yeah, but we could hear you now. But the question I was asking is what was the other name that you gave for the bitter leaf?
For what?
The bitter leaf. What was the other name that you gave?
The bitter leaf, we call it ewe ewuro.
Okay.
Ewe ewuro.
Mm.
So, like I was saying, the portion we give to baby will kill the bacteria from within. Likewise, the other one, the remaining part, the remaining ones that we squeezed with palm oil and gin, we use it to rub all the body. That is to say, that one will kill the outer part, the outer bacteria, the measles. So that's one of the usefulness and importance of Ewe Ewuro. Another thing is that the Ewe Ewuro is useful if we cook it as a vegetable. We believe cooking it as a vegetable does a lot of things to our health. That is, to correct stomach disorders.
We may have lost the connection.
No, I'm with you. Can you
Oh, it's
hear
all
me?
right. Yeah, we
Yes,
can
Uh-huh.
hear you.
we could hear you now, Baba.
Okay, good. So we believe it's going to heal or cure our stomach disorder. Whenever we have a stomach disorders, when we cook it, and I will explain how we normally cook it in our homeland for the healing benefits. So apart from that, when we have skin infections, it is very useful if we cook it and then we heat it at the same time to cure skin infections, and then to control somebody that has the diabetes. It also controls that. When somebody is diabetics, they diagnose the person that has the diabetics maybe at the beginning, the beginning stage of the diabetes. When the person is eating it time to time frequently, it will heal up all these bacteria or diseases.
Okay.
Also, we believe, according to our forefathers and ancestors, that Euro does a very great job in our mental capability, that is cognitive system, our psychic.
Okay.
It boosts our psychic when we are eating it time to time. It actually boosts our psychic. It let us have a good memory.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm taking
Also,
notes.
this ewe ewuro, it is very useful to correct anybody that have a prostate cancer.
Okay.
It cures that also by taking it time to time, cooking it raw or cooking it as a vegetable. So also, if somebody has a body weakness, it will correct the body weakness while you are eating it.
Okay.
Also, another essential benefit of Ewewu is that it helps our liver to supply blood. That is, it helps in blood circulations. So that is the medicinal aspect, but I would like to relate it to our ancestors' way of life. Apart from all these aforementioned, our forefathers making use of Ewuro in another dimension. That is in a way that is not scientifically proved like that, in a way of
Okay.
spirituality.
Okay.
That
So it is
is,
it is it is difficult to prove these things using a scientific method.
yes, Baba.
All right. Okay,
So they,
Baba.
they use it scientifically too, but when they are not, it's not properly or laboratorically done. People believe that our forefathers, they don't know what they are doing because it's not practically or experimentally, done correctly. But
Yeah.
they've been making use of it, and then it's been beneficial to them a lot in another ways. That is, whenever they want to make some akoshe medicines
Okay.
that will help in our that will help our life.
Okay.
That is, we believe in our spirituality that we have varieties of challenges, which God Olodumare created all these herbs, leaves, roots, for humanity. Whenever we have a different challenges, we could be able to to make use of these leaves together with another leaves.
Okay.
So I would like to make a you mention of I will make a point on that, on the kind of medicines and alternative medicines they make use of ewuro for. That is, they make you to do some work for iwa pele,
Okay.
eyo. Whenever they notice somebody has a hot temperament, they will use the bitter leaf. Either they make use with shea butter. They will grind the bitter leaf with shea butter, and then in the ancestors' way, they have their incantations.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
will now incantate to eat, so that whenever they will now put it to the mouth of the people that have the temper. Also, the ground bitter leaf with local soap, pure soap, for attraction,
Okay.
for somebody, to be for you to be liked from everybody, not to be hatred.
Okay.
They will also put a little shea butter on that, so it works for them
But would
to
this
attract
be Baba? Would this be the white soap or the black soap?
the black soap. Yeah, that's our local soap.
Okay.
But mind you, for you to know the usefulness of ewuro, we can as well ground the white soap with it, and it's going to work fine.
Okay.
It's going to work perfectly. People make use of the available resources of where they belong to.
True.
So if you belong to somewhere that you don't have local soap, that black soap,
Mm.
you can make use of the one you have as a white soap.
Okay.
So they make use of that also. Also, we make use of ewuro in for the treatment of malaria parasites.
Oh.
Okay.
We cook it very well. We cook it very well, boil it very well.
Ah,
We put some lemon. We cut some lemon inside. So we boil it
lemon
with
soap then.
lemon. Are
I'm
you are
I'm
you
hearing
hearing?
I'm hearing you clear, Baba. Yeah, you're
Yes,
not
good.
hearing, Baba?
I'm not here. Like
Uh-huh.
you guys, go ahead. I probably have the connection problem.
All right, okay.
Okay.
Go
So
Okay.
they
ahead, Baba.
grind some lemon into it, and then they boil it very well. They give it to somebody that have a malaria parasite, and it will heal the person. It will kill all the malaria parasite inside the body system.
Okay. All right, Baba. But I have a question for you because I noticed you talk about using it internally and you
Yes.
also
Mm.
mentioned using it externally.
Definitely.
And
Mm-hmm.
then now you come here talk about the soap, right? So we
Yes.
know if you're using the soap, it would be while you're taking a bath, right? We also know if you make the medicine for internal use, is either going to be you burn it into an ash or you boil in water and you drink, right? But I want to ask a question concerning baths. Beside a regular bath with soap, because here in the Caribbean, we give what is called a bush bath, where we put the herb, we crush the herbs into water, and we put it out in the midday sun, and then you bring the children and you bathe them with just plain water with the herbs crushed in the water, and you rub the herb all over their skin. I don't know if that is still done in Nigeria today, but this is one of the
Yes, of
things
course.
that we do as part of Creole medicine.
Of course. They use it that way too, but they often use it with aforementioned, like the way I said.
Okay, with the native soap.
Yes, with the soap. Even sometimes they cook it, and then after they boil it very well, they put some palm oil inside, and then they will bathe the baby with it.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, they can use it that way too.
All right, but
So
generally, the use of palm oil in these formulas are generally used for babies because babies generally get a massage using palm
yes,
oil.
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes,
Yeah, I
indeed.
mean to take none of your questions because I'm sure you have a lot of questions for
I,
Baba.
I have a few. You go ahead. I'm gonna ask my question afterwards.
All right, no
Okay.
problem.
So I don't know if you are satisfied with the useness of Ewuro, or you still want us to proceed on the Ewuro,
Well, I've
the
been
bitter
trying.
leaf.
I've been trying to find you know, the Caribbean plant that we have that belong to the same family as bitter leaf.
Oh,
So that's why I'm taking down some note because it would be useful for us also to we will not most likely have exactly the Nigerian bitter leaf, but we would always have another plant that belong to the same family. And when we hear
mm,
all the benefit of using it internally and externally, then definitely we want to make sure that we also get our own share, our own portion of feeling good.
mm, yeah, that's right. That's right. So that's the last question. Do you guys have another question on it before we proceed?
You can go ahead.
No, I mean I don't have any question. I mean I think Baba, you have done a very good job. I think your English is excellent also. By the way, let me compliment you. Because
We give thanks.
I've spoken to lots of people from Oyo and different parts of Nigeria, and their English is not as good as yours. So I must compliment you on the
Mm,
great job you do with English.
mm, thanks so much, about. So that is about Ewuro. And then I will have to have something on this leaves of a thing. When our forefathers want to make use of all these leaves, sometimes we believe in our ancestors that there are a particular there are a lot of sacred names that are being given to these leaves from Olodumare, from God, which it is only our ancestors that know it,
True.
and then it is until they incantate the
Okay, but
name of the leaf. That is
all
the
right. So
name, the sacred name, aside from the scientific name and the English name.
Okay.
okay, but Baba,
They
let me
believe.
ask. Let me ask. I have
Okay,
two questions based on what you
okay.
just said. The first one is concerning the very names, the sacred names of the plants. In a lot of instances, does the name actually describe what the plant is used for or how the plant
Mm,
is used?
not really. That is why I say it's sacred,
Okay,
because it's not being translated the way as the name implies. No,
all
it's
right,
just like a an ancestor's name. And the reason why the Olodumare gave them this name is for to have a tip of the usefulness of it.
okay,
They believe whenever they say that to it, the we believe in our ancestors that all these leaves, herbs, they have ear, they can hear, but
okay.
Okay.
at the same time they are deaf to people that doesn't know
Their
their
language.
real name,
The language
their
of the
language.
All right. So
But
then,
for
all
those
right,
that understand their language, they will listen to you, and then they will be in touch. They'll be ready to serve
okay.
you, to do whatever you ask them to do.
All right, but then now that leads me to a question I wanted to ask it, but I would ask it now. Now you mentioned water, right?
Mm,
Omi. Now,
yes.
what role in particular does Omi play in the activation of the properties of the medicine,
Sorry,
ritualistically?
sorry. Come again.
What role does
Mm-hmm.
Omi, water,
Mhm.
play in the spiritual activation of the herbs itself?
Ooh,
Wow.
I see my
Sorry, one
coffee.
second. I have to. I love the question. I actually love the question. Maybe that will be our next topic tonight. The rules of water
Mhm. I'm sipping coffee on
in,
this one.
in the activation of what?
Of the herbs.
Of
Because
herbs.
yeah, of herbs. Because um there is a prayer we say Otura Rere and Iriti Rere, the Babalaos cast water for Ifa. When Ifa was leaving Orun to come to Aye, Water wanted to know whether water would be the most desirable solvent. Water was asked to make Ebo, water made Ebo, and today water is the most desirable solvent. Now, this is the English, but of course, this same Oriki is also said in Yoruba. All right,
Yes.
I couldn't tell you exactly which Odu it is from, right? But I know in opening that particular Oriki, we talk about Iritirere and Oturarere.
Oh, I would like to answer the question. Are you ready?
Mhm.
Yes, Baba, please.
I actually love the question because it's part of the reason why we are here. I'll first of all start. Because any point I'm making is due or is being generated from Orisha spirituality, actually,
Mhm.
because Orisha teaches peace, and then Orisha let us know the usefulness of our natural resources.
Mhm.
So that is another is part of the roles water play. And then in our spirituality, water play a lot of essential roles, because there's nothing we can do without water. Water is life. Water is life.
This reminds me of one of the songs that Fela Kuti sang. Water has no enemy.
Yes, Vela Anikula Kuti. Water, you no get enemy. Oh me oh water, oh water. You no get enemy. That is, water doesn't have any enemy. Because there's no way you will not make use of water. If you don't drink it, you are going to, extract it or receive it from other materials you consume, your daily activities. So that is why it's essential. And then we are talking about science, and then we are talking about medicines. About medicines, there's no way we forget our ancestors, our goddess, that one of that invented water. That is the source of water, according to our ancestor spirituality. Also, when we're talking about science and then herbs and herbal medicines, we know out of the goddess we have in our spirituality, Oshun plays a lot of roles. That is why whenever we want to do orikil of water, or we want to make use of water in our Ifa practice or Orisha practice, we are going to relate the water to Oshun.
Benny.
Ifani tutu, lolo tutu, nene adirafo oluweri ma geti atojo ateran ile oluweri ki gbona. This Ifa corpus reveals that
Baba just froze up a little bit, but he should be back with us shortly. Baba?
Are you there, Baba? Are you
Yeah,
there?
Yes, but
can hear you.
you froze up momentarily there.
I said the Ifa I just recite talks about the usefulness of water, the roles of water in the activation of herbs. Because we made mention of the first person, one of those people that started making use of this water in the science. I made mention of Oshun. That is Oshun Iya Olodo Alagbo. We believe his own water is herbs, is medicinal. Because she was part of the goddess that made use of water to heal.
Okay.
That is why whenever we want to chant or we want to mention water in our Ifa spirituality, we relate it to Oshun. Though there are a lot of goddesses that relate to the water, but Oshun had a lot of roles in the herbal medicines, as well as in the usefulness of water.
Okay.
Because remember, when we are doing the offerings and invocations, whenever we want to make use of the water, we will recite the Odufa that I just recited. That we believe the custody of Rifa Oshun goddess, it's so cold, and then it's been surrounded with water, and it's cool every time. So meaning, for somebody, for a beneficiary, we want to make use of this water we want the person's life to be peaceful, like the one of River Oshun. So, in that note, you understand the fact that we make use of that water in that sense to activate, to gear up a kind of a goddess spirit to help a beneficiary during the Herbal system.
Okay.
That's one. Secondly, because water is a natural materials, natural resources. That is why whenever we want to prepare our herbal medicines. We make use of this natural medicine because we don't want to make use of any chemical, and then we believe water is so natural. It's not. It's not mixed with some other chemicals.
Okay.
Most especially ocean water.
Okay.
Okay.
So from that point alone, we realize a lot. Water plays a lot of roles in activation of our health, because without the water, it will be very difficult for us to liquefy our substances, our herbal substance, or herbal
Okay.
materials.
Okay. Benny Baba.
Also, also, water plays a lot of roles because we believe anything that we want to heal from within must be in liquid form. And then what are we going to make use of to make it uh to make it in a liquid form,
Water
or to make
indeed.
it convenient to consume within? It is the
So
water.
it's the water. Well, I would
Benny.
like to jump to, like, to cut in there, because, all of our followers may not be necessarily acquainted to Orisha spirituality, but I'd
Okay.
like to just step in there and remind everyone, that the body is composed of 60% of water. And we have always
Mm.
been told, indeed, that whenever we need to heal and especially take herbs, it is always better to take it in a liquid form. Now, we would find that many people choose to not have the liquid form to avoid the taste, and some may rely to tablets or capsules. But indeed, the best way is always the liquid form. For those who really can, there will be time indeed where we really cannot make it in taking it as a liquid form, especially if the herb is traveling from far. We may not be able to receive it in the liquid form. But then I would always recommend to use a capsule. But whenever you drink capsule, you have to drink it with a hot drink, in order to be able to digest the capsule and allow this herb to be released into your bloodstream and to be mixed with the liquid in your body. That's the best way. And indeed, we can understand that water is very important in terms of healing, because it accesses every part of the body and is going to carry the herbs through. So it's always important when we take natural medicine to drink a lot of water.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Go ahead,
So
Baba.
any other question?
Well, not really, but I'm curious too to find out maybe beside regular fresh water from streams, rivers, etc. Because most of our water supply in this part of the Americas comes from rivers. So we dam the water and then we treat that water supply and whatever. But I may want to ask of things like snail and other sources of liquid that I use to prepare medicine.
You want to ask about
Snail,
snails?
yeah, the water from the
You
snail.
mean good? We believe water from the snails has their own healing components.
Mhm.
That is, it's used. We make use of it to suppress something. We believe whenever we make use of the water from the snails,
Mhm.
it will cleanse or suppress all the bad energies or all the bad disease or challenges.
Okay,
Well, in cosmetic, if we must know, women use it a lot, to regenerate the skin and the hair. If you have split hands or if your hair is not growing, and it is because the water from the sea, so the in Spanish we call it baba de caracol. It is very healing. It's very powerful. No later than this morning, when I saw the rain, I was excited. I went out looking for snails, and my children were shocked. And I decided that I was going to wash my hair with snail water and herbs because it is very good for the hair and it's also very calming. It helps to release a lot of anxiety. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
No better way than to get it from nature.
Yeah, you made a lot of points because water from snails,
Mhm.
has their own essential benefits. When we want to make use of some leaves for
Mhm.
healing
Okay.
or in a spirituality or whatever, we make use of the water from the snails also because we believe it's part of the healing materials aside
Mhm.
make use of the real water.
Okay.
We call it omi
Yeah.
error meaning something that can suppress negativities,
Okay.
something you use to cleanse your body system
Yes.
or to toxic, something that you use to detox unwanted chemicals, unwanted things in your body system.
Okay.
That's another usefulness of water from snails.
Okay.
Uh,
But do you have any other questions?
No, but I'm sure Ia, who's the host for the show, may have quite a few. So I'm gonna just try and follow as close as I could. And I mean, if anything comes up, I would ask.
Okay. Or is there anybody in the house that has one or two questions that want to ask
do we have any? Do we have any
about?
question from the viewers?
Okay, viewers, feel free at this stage to, if you cannot, you can write your questions as a comment, and we will try our best to address any questions that any of the viewers may have who are on the live at the moment. All right, but Baba, I mean, in the meantime, you could probably review some of the stuff that you mentioned about the bitter leaf, because that is something I am sure with all of the properties that you may have mentioned that people would be very, very curious in finding out about that particular herb.
You mean people will have a lot of questions pertaining to bitter leaf?
Give us a recap.
A review.
Mhm.
Just
Okay,
tell us a little
reviews.
bit again, yes, on the
Okay,
bitter
about the
leaf.
bitter leaves. Bitter leaves, like I was saying, bitter leaves has a lot of healing properties as well. Like I said it cures and infections in the body system. But the application, that is the important aspect of it that we must know the application of it. We must know when to add shea butter with it
Mhm.
to heal, to do certain things. We must know when to add both shea butter and palm oil. We must know when to add some other leaves together with it. Like for example, now, if you want, we are talking about bitter leaves and the kind of leaves we could add for another purpose. There's a leaf we call ephedrine. We can use that too. And then when we're talking about bitter leaf, we can make use of that is the peperomia pellucida. Ewe something, the leaf that looks like a love symbol. So when you attach that, it will work in some for some benefit. That is, it regulates blood pressure. When somebody has a blood pressure
Mhm.
and then they attach the ewe with it, with the bitter leaf, they will
Okay.
now squeeze it very well
Mhm.
to get some water from it. They will not put any water on it, only what comes out from it.
Okay.
When people that have a BP, high blood pressure,
Mhm.
make use of it from morning, afternoon, and night, we believe the blood pressure is going to be regulated.
Okay. Okay. That's great.
Yes, yes, that is for bitter leaf. Some people back here in the motherland, they put bitter leaf, and I mean, which I know it will be beneficial for everybody, even everybody in the house, that whenever they want to eat or cook any vegetable, any kind of vegetable, it's always good to add some bitter leaves on it.
Bitter leaf. I can't wait to
Yes,
go to Nigeria and eat
because
Nigerian bitter
in
leaf.
fact, it, it has some sweet nutrient inside, whereby it will first of
Mm-hmm.
all bitter and then it will be sweet. That is
Okay,
how bitter leaves,
here's gonna be my
it
question,
has
Baba.
this.
Okay, tell us about some of the meals that can be prepared. How do people eat bitter leaf?
If you want to eat it right,
Mm-hmm.
you mean I should tell us how to cook it?
You tell us, like, are there some special dishes that it can really be cooked anyhow with anything?
Good. I love bitter leaves. Do you know why? During our forefathers' time,
Mm-hmm.
which they don't really have much, they
Mm-hmm.
can't afford to buy.
Ah,
He should be on shortly.
I think,
He's adjusting there, so he should be
yeah.
back on.
Are you there?
Yes,
Yes, we hear
please.
Baba.
Like I was saying that in the olden days,
Mm-hmm.
when our ancestors was, they couldn't afford to, to prepare some dishes, some food. They couldn't afford to buy it,
Mm-hmm.
and then they believe they have an access to this leaf wherever they go.
Okay.
You know what they do? They will just cut it into pieces,
Mm-hmm.
put it on fire, pour some water on it. They will boil
Mm-hmm.
it. After they boil it, they will now remove it out of the water, and then they
Mm-hmm.
will slice all the bitter leaves in pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Then they will find a palm oil, little palm oil. They have an access to palm oil as well, because some of them, they have, they are farmers. They have
Okay.
their farm whereby they have the palm oil and then everything.
Mm-hmm.
They make that a lot. So they pour
Okay.
some palm oil inside the pot, and then the bitter leaf that they've already sliced,
Mm-hmm.
they will now pour inside inside the
The
palm oil.
family. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when they see some pepper from the farmland, they will slice the pepper too on it. They
Okay.
will just squeeze it, and they can cook it anyhow they want it. They
Okay.
believe they are good with it because
Mm-hmm.
they take it with their swallow food,
Mm-hmm.
like all these local food they make from cassava,
Yeah.
or they made from yam flowers. We call it amala in our land.
Okay.
They will eat it with it, and at the end of the day, without having any kind of meat
Mm-hmm.
or fish or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it is the stem from the bitter leaf they used as the meat.
Oh, okay. I was just going to ask you, what about any meat? Some people
They will slice
really
the
must eat
stem,
meat at every meal, but the
the
stem,
leaves.
that's very
They will
wise.
slice it into it, and then they will cook everything together.
Hmm. That's food for thought, definitely.
That is what they normally eat because they have an access to it, and then they know it's also medicinal.
Okay. Well, Baba, so far me, I'm very happy with all what I have learned this evening. Technically, what I understood this evening is that um, we should also eat our medicine. So not just wait and see we are sick to use herbs. I think we lost him for a few seconds,
Hmm.
but I'm gonna go ahead with the recap. I feel like we should eat our medicine and we should make it a lifestyle. Eat it on a regular basis, not to wait until we have a problem or something stop functioning properly. Make use of water. natural water, as healthy as possible. So you guys have rivers, so you can get water from the rivers. You don't have any rivers on this side. But I
Okay.
remember that when I used to live in Anguilla, we used to drink rainwater. And surprisingly, whenever we were in Anguilla, we hardly used to get sick, because we were drinking the rainwater. And even pregnant with my twins, I drank rainwater all through the pregnancy, and I was
Okay.
fine.
All
You
right.
know, not even to say like refined, tested, or purified, just straight rainwater all through. And I was okay throughout the whole pregnancy. So
Okay.
we also say that the healing should not just be we should not be focusing only on healing internally. We should also use those herbs on the on our skin so that we could heal inside out.
Yeah.
That's when you spoke about mixing the herbs with shea butter or with palm oil, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, we spoke about eating bitter leaf in particular. So we choose bitter leaf because it is one that's very important and very prominent in the culture over there. But whenever you use the right herb with in your diet, it helps you to align your organs. So it means that you will have better blood circulation. Somebody's asking a question. Yes, it is. Is bitter leaf called I can't see so well, but um
No.
that's the name for
It's
Vitaly.
Talinum fruticosum.
I'm not hearing anymore.
Talinium fruticosum.
Okay, that is the correct name for the plant.
That's
Yes.
yeah, that's the correct name. Talinum fruticosum.
Okay. Well, I think the
And
one
then
that the
okay,
viewer
Mama,
listed
you were
there
saying
is the
something, right?
one that we have. We call that particular one that what the viewer listed there. That is what we refer to as bitter leaf in Trinidad. So this is not the plant you're speaking of, Baba. This is another plant.
Wow.
I'm not hearing
You mean
anything.
that's
I'm not sure whether it's my connection.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Go ahead, Baba.
okay? You mean I should proceed in talking about this Ewewuro, right? The bitter
Yeah.
leaf.
Yes. Yes, Baba.
And the other thing I have to mention about this is that we should know how to preserve the preservation of bitter leaf
Mhm.
because, like you were saying, not everybody that have an access to it in their homeland or in
Mhm.
their country.
Yes.
But even if at all you are interested
Mhm.
in having it or having the taste, how will you get it? How
Baba,
do we preserve?
as long as you tell us you could get it for us, we will get it. You just tell us, and
Yes.
we will make sure we have it growing. Trust me on that, because it seems that we should
Do
definitely populate the Caribbean with bitter leaf. Definitely. Because
yeah.
you mentioned
So
that it was very good to treat the malaria parasite. And so therefore,
yes.
right away, it rang in my head, oh, but we have other stuff we need to be drinking. We need to be treating right now in terms of, the current health situation globally. So I am wondering, how did COVID affect Nigeria when it comes to the use of bitter leaf?
Well, to be honest with what I know,
Mhm.
coronavirus is not really rampant in Nigeria. Trust me,
I would believe so, okay?
rampant. Do you know why it's not rampant? It's because
Because
we
you
have
guys
an
eat.
access to herbal medicines.
Exactly.
Like this morning now, I've taken a lot of herbal concoctions
Hmm.
for against any fever or malaria.
Okay.
We have some certain herbs we take for
Hmm.
malaria parasites. We have some certain herbs we take if
Hmm.
you have a pile of hemorrhoid or whatever.
Hmm.
So we have some particular herbs for a particular purposes.
Okay.
All right, Baba. If I
So
could
that is
ask,
that,
right? I was reading something a little while back that mentioned the use of the bitter cola.
Good. Yes.
Yeah, in solving a lot of bacterial problems.
Yes. That is
Um,
right, Baba.
yeah, I think actually it was one of the main ingredients that was used in a medicine to cure one of the diseases that was taking quite a lot of lives in Africa some time back.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what disease is that? The one that was killing people, this fatal disease?
yes,
Ebola?
Ebola, yeah.
Ebola, yeah. The cure came
Mm.
from one of the traditional medicine, the bitter cola. So that was something I learned recently.
Mm.
Okay, okay. That's rather good to know. You know,
Mm.
I'm really,
Yes.
COVID was one thing, but I'm really not looking forward to Ebola traveling through the world like this because that would be
Nah,
another
well,
story, you know.
we have a cure for Ebola and it's bitter cola nut, so we don't have to worry about
I'm
that
telling you,
anymore.
I'm telling you.
And hopefully soon, Baba, for people like in the Caribbean who we experiencing a lot of this with this epidemic, we experiencing a lot of losses.
Mm.
We hoping that you might be able to help us by coming up with some sort of solution in the near future that we could probably use and have available to our people locally.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have a
we look
lot of help
forward
that
to
will be
invite you,
beneficial.
definitely.
All right, but Baba, we really appreciate you coming on the show with us and sharing the wealth and knowledge that you have shared. And I would let the host finish by, closing off because we have like about 2 more minutes.
Well, I would like to join in thanking you because you know that it is very late for you, but for taking the time out, to share with us. We really wanted to have an elder to speak to us about the importance of our diet, to have a proper mental health. Because it is true that whenever we speak about spiritual health, many people will think about the religious aspect only. But when we speak about spiritual health in this context, we speak about what's going on in your mind. So whenever you are aligned within, your head, your mental, also your psyche is going to be aligned, and so you'll be a more productive person, whether in your work environment, in your social environment, even with your family. And so that definitely we encourage it. You would find sometimes that people who have like very demanding job find it difficult, at the end of the week or
Mm.
even at the end of the day
Hello,
to
Baba.
to gather with others, to just socialize, much less for going to church or other spiritual activities because they are burned out, they are tired. So that would be it is great to make it a lifestyle. So remember, just like Baba said, we don't wait until we are sick. We make our food our medicine, and that's something that we have heard over and over. And let food be your medicine. Don't wait until you are sick. And now we know that, okay, we probably don't have access to bitter leaf yet. We will get it for you guys, definitely. But we have some other bitter herbs in the Caribbean. In the meantime, eat your bitter herbs. Another scholar from around this part of the diaspora, has always been speaking and preaching over and over that we should eat and drink a lot of bitter herbs, and we have many. So we are not going to go through the whole list right now, but we would like to invite you, Baba, to tell us about your services. And if people would like to contact you, how can they contact you?
Sorry, it was breaking. Come
Okay.
again.
Yeah, we would like you to speak to us about what you do. And if people would like to contact you, how do they do so? Like any viewers from this program, if they would like to contact you, whatever services you may want to speak about right now, tell us how they can find you.
Okay, okay. Hope I still have some minutes because I really want to conclude the aspect
Mhm.
of the bitter leaf and then move to
Go ahead,
what you just
go
asked
ahead, go
now.
ahead.
I was talking about the preservation actually, which is I know it's very useful for you guys
Mhm.
because even in the part of our land, some people don't have access to it in some period, some season.
Okay.
So the way they preserve is that they will get it in bulk. They will get in bulk.
Mm-hmm.
They will now let the sunlight, the reflection of the sunlight to lighten on it. They
Mm-hmm.
will use the sun to dry it off.
Yeah.
It into pieces. They will now allow the sunlight to dry it off. So then it could last for so many months.
Okay.
The dried one could last for so many months, for like 4 to 5, 6 months.
Okay.
So whenever they want to cook in our land, the dried one, they will
Mm-hmm.
just take small out of it and put it into the whatever vegetable they want to prepare.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
how some people make use of it in our own land. They don't make use of it in the fresh one.
Mm-hmm.
So the one that they've already sliced and then dried from
Mm-hmm.
sunlight,
Okay.
they could have a necessary time so that they can keep it somewhere, and then they'll put it whatever they want to use. They just take out of it and then put it whatever they want to use. That is how they preserve it.
Okay. Okay. Are you able to ship that to Ghana or
Yes,
Ivory Coast?
of course,
Okay. So we will
of
talk.
course, I can ship it to.
We will talk in that case.
Okay, no problem. So back to the question you asked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an Ifa priest in Odisha spirituality. I inherited a lot of things from my father. I follow the path of Orisha. I do healings through the Herbal, do uh, through the means of an offerings to ancestors, and then by the make use of all these herbs. I do readings to know guidance Orisha because we believe everybody has their own guidance Orisha, guidance angels. So I do reading to know that, and then I do full in-depth reading too. Also, I conduct a lot of initiations for a particular Orisha because my temple in back here is actually an institution whereby people come all over the world to learn about our will of Orisha. So I do reading, I do initiations, and then I make a medicines and alternative medicines for people for
Okay.
a particular goals. So also I sell some spiritual materials,
Okay.
beads and all that. I consecrate it as well. So that is what I do. I'm Awolowo Ifatoki. So on my Instagram page too, that's what I use.
Thank you, Baba. Well, I would like to add I would like to add to this that Baba is a very reachable person, very available, and someone that is also very respected. So definitely you can, reach out to him on our behalf via his social media handle.
All right, so
Thank you, Mama.
we would like to thank again the priest Owolowo Orimiya Ifatoki for being on the show
Awolowo.
today. Yes, Awolowo.
Yes.
All right, okay.
You're
So I
welcome.
hope I got it right this time. We want to thank you for being with us. And Iya, this is the close of today's show. And
Oh, yeah.
hopefully we would see you all next week. So with that, we would like to say
I
like,
love you.
share, and subscribe. And we would see you all next week. Odabo.
Whatever.
Odabo. I share the money.